Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Foreart. And this kit is interesting because it's not the armored vehicle, as you can see, it's the guided missile destroyer, and as you can see it comes in 1/350 scale. So it's so-called HMS Coventry Type 42 guided missile destroyer batch 1, and as you can see it comes as the quite large kit, and I would say the subject itself is quite interesting, not only because of the history but also because you get the chance to copy it with help of modern technologies. And we have here the final shape of this kit. What it means is that the parts will stay the same, so if you order it from any good model shop or even from the Foreart website, you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So first thing I would like to note is the box art, which is quite nice here, and also I think it will not be supplied as the postcard. As I was saying in the previous review, we found out that there is no such bonus. Nevertheless, it's worth mentioning the history of this ship. So it was laid down in 1973 and launched in 1974, and the price is quite interesting. So there was a cost of 37 million British pounds, so it's quite large, and it was sunk by Argentine Air Force A4 Skyhawks on 1982 during Falklands War. So now you have a chance to have this ship on your shelf. So the box size is approximately similar to what we saw in the previous release. Here is comparison with my hand. Also here on the side you'll find one of the marking options which is included. I hope there are more because previous release featured several markings, and here you can also see the pictures of the assembled model without the paint applied, and also we have the PE threads. It's a top opening box, and by the way the assembled model will be 359 millimeters long, so almost 36 centimeters long. It's not a small model, so do not underestimate it. And as you can see, the box is literally filled with the various sprues, so they are packed into separate plastic bags, and we will be opening one by one and checking them together. In the meantime, I can remind you that you can check the previous release as well. It's now should be live on YouTube channel which you are watching at the moment, and the previous kit was also quite nice. There are a lot of things included in the standard package, so I think it might be interesting choice for all modelers. And we start with the sprue N, so I'll move the sticker here, maybe open the lenses a bit and zoom in. So here we have the same set of parts as in the previous release. It means that we have the helicopter, which should be assembled out of two halves, and we also have some small boats. So for the helicopter, it is interesting that you can assemble it in a deployed position or in transport position, which is quite nice touch. And as you can see inside, we have the guiding elements, so it should be easy to combine those two halves together. But I would recommend to spend some time trying to replicate the actual marking option for this type of aircraft on this ship, because it might be a really neat touch, especially in this 1/350 scale. And just to give you an idea about the size, here is comparison with my fingertip. So it's not a large helicopter, and that's why it might be a fun work to do. Okay, now I'm trying not to lose any sprues, because next one is the sprue O. So here I will zoom out a bit, and now you should be able to see that here we are mostly getting various masts, and they are looking more or less okay. So the parts size and thickness, I would say, will require some due care, because if you will be not treating them with necessary attention, you might break them, and then it will be really tricky to fix it. So definitely do not hurry and try to get as a sharp knife as possible, or just to get the sharp cutters. Next we continue with the sprue H, and here as you can see we have the parts for the deck. So this is the main tube, as you remember, and also we have the top section here. We also have some parts for the superstructure, and of course if I flip over those parts we have also the guiding elements inside. So I would say the design is well thought through, so you don't have any elements where you have to guess how they will be combined, and this is really good because it will speed up the assembly process, and of course it will give you the certain precision with those parts. But that's not all. We continue with the next plastic sprue. So here is the sprue L, and here you can see that we have more parts for the deck. We have this radar domes, we also have some additional parts for the superstructure and also for the deck, and we have a lot of pre-molded features as well. So in this scale, as you can guess, it is necessary to have them pre-molded. You cannot have them as a separate parts in some cases, and here we have quite smart design which actually accounts for this, and I would say these pre-molded features kind of show what can be achieved with the modern technology, because you just get all of the necessary things and they look like the separate items installed, not something pre-molded on the part, even though they are pre-molded. Next, I'm opening another plastic sprue. It's a sprue A, so I will show you in a second. Here it is. So here we have the turret parts, and as you can see, again, it's quite detailed. I'm not sure if this actual release is including the... Yeah, I can see the metal barrel is included. I guess that's for the main gun, so that's quite cool. But even the plastic barrels from Foreart, they are quite nice. In armor kits, they were looking really good. So I don't think you'll have anything to complain about here. And just to show you the next thing, it's the sprue M, and here, as you can see, we have another bolts type, and also we have this special, I guess these are the side cranes and maybe clamps, and also here we have some parts for the superstructure. Again, if I flip over these bolts, as you can see, we have the guiding elements, but this top one is molded as a single piece part, so it's quite an interesting variety, I would say. But still, both should be fun to assemble and paint because of the size and also because of the details which are implemented there out of the box. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag, and here I don't know why manufacturer decided to pack two sprues at the same time, so I'll show them in a second. It's the sprue J. Here we have, as you can guess, the superstructure parts. So these are the separate panels which should be combined together, and here you can see also some parts for the internal deck, and everything looks nice, really good surface details. And the same can be said about the next sprue. It's the sprue I, where we get the engine parts, and both engines will be nicely detailed, so it should be visible also on the finished model, so that's why it's worth painting them properly, trying to replicate the necessary metal finish, let's say, and then it will be even more convincing appearance. But that's not all. We continue with another plastic sprue, and here we have the interesting thing, I would say. So I will show it right now. Now you can see that this is the superstructure, but it is molded as a clear part. So basically what you need to do is to mask the windows and then to paint whole part over. It's quite an interesting design, I would say, because some modelers or some model manufacturers, they actually do the separate clear inserts. Here we get the one piece which should be painted as necessary. And of course masks are not supplied, so for masking purposes you have to do your own stickers. It's not complicated task for the small rectangles, but it will require some precision, and of course it will take a bit of your time, so you should account for this. Next we continue with another superstructure. So this one was also included into the previous kit as well. As you can see, we have really good interior features here. I would say exterior features which are pre-molded, and as you can see also here we have the guiding elements which will help you with the proper position of all additional things, because this is not the final shape obviously, so you will have to add more stuff on the top. Next we have another pair of the superstructure parts. So I'm opening them right now. And here we have two of them. So as you can see, again, pretty much the same design. And I really like how they look. So that kind of shows what can be achieved with the modern technology. And the same can be said about this superstructure. But as you can see, again, we have a lot of installation slots. So that means that something will be added on the top. And you will see it also on the assembly manual. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag, so I will show you in a second what we have here. So first of all, I was saying that we have the metal barrel. So as you can see, it is packed into separate plastic bag, and this is a really good part, so it's a nice thing to have as a bonus. But there are also 3D printed parts. Here they are. So these parts will be also useful on your model. As you can see, they are protected with this large cage. So obviously you should cut off this cage and then just cut the part out. This is not a difficult task, but it will require some steady hands, because otherwise you might end up with the damaged parts, and they're very thin, so that's why I pay attention to how this procedure will be going through. Next we have another useful bonus, so I would say it's a must-have for the ship kit. So as you can see, it's a stand, it's a typical black part. We have also decal to apply here, and you should also drill the holes from the opposite side. Maybe it's also a good idea to paint it into some different colors so that it will look more convincing, but that's already your decision, because I saw some modders actually redoing the whole stand with application of the wooden panels on top, but this will require for sure some extra work, and of course it's not a quick thing to do. So next we continue with the deck part, which is molded as a single piece part, and now you can also see comparison with my hand. We also have some pre-molded details here in the nose section, so as you can see they are looking quite fine, and we have the guiding elements, so it will be easy to combine them with the superstructure parts. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag, and here I can see we have the hull parts. So we just need to cut through them. Okay, so first of all, we have here the lower section, and as you can see, it is all molded as a one-piece part, so it's quite good. You don't have to, you will not have any seams and gaps. We have also the raised edges, which will help you to combine with the middle section, and also here we have the I would say strengthening tabs, which will provide you with a bit more rigid assembly. And I think it is important in this size. After all, the assembled model will be almost 36 centimeters long, so it's something of, I would say, noticeable size. And the last gray plastic part is the middle section, as I was saying before. So as you can see, it's approximately the same length. The most interesting area is here in the tail. So as you can see, we have the cutouts. They will be also upgraded with the separate parts, so it's quite nice. And again, we have some structural parts here, nothing here, but we have these edges which will help you with combining these parts together. Next, there is also the Ziploc bag. So just give me a second to open it. I can see that we have the PE frets. So these are unpainted PE frets, but they will be useful for some additional features on the deck. Obviously the railings here, and also some parts even for the helicopter. So this is very good bonus. It will be a bit tedious for some experienced modelers, I would say, but with some due care you can get even more features, which is noticeable in this size. And that's not all again, because we also get in the same plastic bag we get the decals. So I'm going to take them out in a second. Here is the first small decal sheet, and then there is one bigger, which I'm trying to take out because of the tight fitment in the plastic bag. It's not such an easy task to do, but I should be able to take it out in a few seconds. So just give me a moment. Okay, so now it's out. And here is another decal sheet. So as you can see, the printing quality is really good. Usually the Foreart decals are rather easy to apply, so it's just a matter of careful paint work, I would say. And next we have the assembly manual. So here we are closing the lenses a bit and zooming out so that you can see the whole brochure. The most interesting thing here, of course, is that the whole brochure is printed in color. And on the first page you'll find only the safety advices. So if you would like to know the history, you'll have to Google a bit. And here we continue with the parts map. So first of all, it's worth mentioning that the blue colored parts are the PE parts. So as you can see, straight away you are starting to work with them, so be ready for this. Obviously all of the railings will be copied with PE, and as you can see, the first steps are actually concerned with the main hull. Only then we start working on the superstructure. And you can see that a lot of parts are actually being combined together for various superstructures, so it might be also worth thinking through how you would like to paint it, because later it will be a bit tricky to reach certain areas. And again, on every page we have the blue color, so that means almost on every step you are going to work with PE parts. You cannot avoid it here, obviously, because these pictures will look weird without adding all of these fine elements. Suddenly here is is the page without any PE parts because we are just installing this Superstructure sub-assembly on the top. Then we continue with the bolts, the special cranes, and here another Superstructure getting assembled. So again, separate panels combined together. Maybe it's worth checking the alignment of these parts because, as you can see, this square or rectangular structure should be installed onto the special area. So it might be a good idea to check whether it fits properly. Next, we have the turret, and for the turret, as you can see, you can use the metal barrel or the plastic barrel. I would rather suggest to get the metal barrel. Here we have also the rockets, and the rear crane gets installed. Here we continue with the helicopter. So as you can see, the blades are actually PE parts. And then a lot of fun with the railing comes. So as you can see, some bending should be done as well, so be ready for this. Maybe it's a good idea to get some proper PE tool, because otherwise you might end up with really weird shapes, especially with these complex bends. Here you can see the first marking option, and I guess, yes, we have the second one with the British flag. And here we continue with the paint chart and also the image, which is pretty much the same as on the box art. And as for the whole kit, it should be already available, so if you would like to get your own, you should be able to find it right now. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.